All right, we're restarting once again. My apologies. I had some issues here with my connection. I'm on a really strong connection. I'm hardwired, so I'm not sure what happened there. So I'll just go ahead and give it a moment. Let everybody join back up again. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming back. Wait a little minute here. Wait a minute. Let people join back on. My apologies once again for the technical difficulty. Good. We'll give it a minute here. Good, good, good. Sorry once again that the video had lost a connection right there just as I was in the middle of it. So thanks for joining us back again. Give it a minute here. Give it a minute. Letting everybody jump back on. Good, good. So as we get into this session right here too, hopefully you're able to be in a quiet space. Hopefully you're able to be in a space where you're able to kind of have, I guess, some privacy, or if you don't mind other people around, as long as you can kind of be in a quiet space where you can really focus on some of the things that I'm going to share. And if you have some water nearby, I got some sparkling water. If you have some water nearby, that's good too. We're going to be using that in a little bit. Good. So again, I'm just kind of what I was sharing was that I'm gonna share some of my favorite mindful breathing visualization exercises that I have learned over the years that has helped me. Things from many different cultures, many different indigenous people from all of my travels around Native country, and these are things that too I have to even remind myself to utilize when I start feeling anxious, when I start feeling stress. And as we know, as I already mentioned earlier, that as Native people, that many of us are dealing with and healing from some sort of trauma, whether that be something that we directly experienced, or we experienced vicarious trauma, or somehow we acquire, even through epigenetics and all that, we acquire stress. Maybe we were just born with this anxiety or stress or something. And we're in this healing phase as Native people, and we need tools, different tools on a daily basis to even help us to be of a good mind, be in a good spirit, have our body in a good physiological working function. And so these are all different types of things that I want to share today. When we get started right here, someone said, "Can you possibly recap what you covered so far?" Yeah, and I'll kind of share about it once again when we get back. But I was talking a little bit before I got cut off. I was talking about this concept of cultural evolution, and us as Native people giving ourselves as Native people permission to evolve our cultural protocols and update them, as long as they're always in congruence with our indigenous cultural values, what we value as Native people: our respect for all living things, our respect for our kinship, Mother Earth, respect for the higher source, the great creator, praising and giving thanks to our water, to our food, the air, fire, all that, acknowledging the stars. All these things that are in our worldviews, indigenous people, will always be there. But what changes is the technology. What changes is the cultural practices, the cultural protocols. And that's kind of what we're doing today as Native people. As I was saying earlier, is that the pandemic has caused us to adjust, and it has not stopped us to be able to connect at a spiritual level, to share our teachings that we have from our different nations with one another, to share our songs and to pray together, to continue to have our gatherings on virtual space. We're indigenizing this technology, and these are tools, and it's the intention behind the what are our actions. The same thing is with the different medicines that we have from all of our different directions in Native country. It's the intention, I was always told from my cultural leaders, it's the intention behind the use of that medicine. It's subjective in a sense, and so that's what's happening today with this technology. There's a movement to indigenize that, and we must not judge other Native people for what they're willing to share over spaces like this. because then if we were doing that, then we're acting like the colonizer. And so that's what I was always taught, is that our people over here in Salt River in central Arizona, the Anakamiratam, lived in cluster villages along the river. There'd be a family right here, a couple miles down, be another family. And every cluster of villages had their own way of even speaking, the way they used the language. They had different songs they would sing. So no one ever went over here and said, oh, those guys are singing it wrong, or they said it wrong. They didn't do that. They understood that those people had their way of living. And we must remember that today. We must remember that today. So I brought that up before because I was saying that I want to share some things right here that I usually like to share only in person. But right now, this is a different time we're living in. And what's important is that our people are out there in Native country. That's what's important. People who need to hear these messages, need to learn these tools. I can't be concerned about if a non-Native person is going to hear any of this. Maybe they need that healing. Maybe they need that wellness too. So that's kind of what I was saying, just to kind of recap for those that were asking. So we're going to jump into it. And right now, this is something that we love to do. All of our Native wellness staff and trainers and people around the world love to use this exercise to conjure up your energy. So bring your hands right here. Bring your hands just like this, like so. And again, try to be in the moment right here. Hopefully you have cleared out this next 45 minutes to kind of be present right here, to kind of do these things right here, because I'm gonna ask you to use your imagination. I'm gonna really ask you to focus. But let's bring your hands together right here. Let's bring your hands together. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna take a couple of deep breaths in your nose, and exhale out your mouth. Another deep breath in your nose, exhale out your mouth, and start rubbing your hands together. Can you hear that? You're going to rub your hands together. And as you're doing this, I want you to think about something you love. I want you to think about your gift. Think about your positivity, whatever gift, love that you have. Doesn't need to be anything specific. You're thinking about that, and you're putting it right here in your hands as you do that. Pick up the tempo a little bit, and keep your breath flowing in your nose, out your mouth. Focus. Be present right here. Pick up the tempo just a little bit more. Keep breathing in your nose, out your mouth. Focus your thoughts, your energy on that friction. And as you do that, just go ahead and hover them right in front of each other. Kind of bounce your own energy. Don't look at me on the camera. Look at your hands and focus all of your energy between your hands right here. Keep your breath going in your nose, out your mouth in a conscious way. You should be able to feel your own energy pulsating between your hands. Yes, it's because you created friction and created heat or whatever, but that is a physical manifestation of your spirit, of the spirit that was gifted to you, is given to you when you came out of your mama into this world here. They say your spirit was attached to us. And with that spirit, a lot of our teachers tell us is that we have power. And if you keep your hands here like I am, keep it. Mine's getting warmer because I'm focusing on my power. And that's exactly what I want to talk about right now, is your power. This is your power. That's your gift. This is your spirit, your heart. Feel it. Keep building it too. Sending that energy through your hands. Your hands are tools for healing. Bounce that energy right there and build it. That's your spirit given to you at birth here. And with that spirit, as I said earlier, comes power. There comes power there that we are all born and gifted with. This is what some of my traditional healers told us growing up in our community. Everybody has power to heal themselves or others. That some are just happen to be more gifted than others. Some foster that gift and make it strong. And that's what we're doing right now. You're revealing that. You're uncovering your own power, your gift. Now, bring it back together. Bring it back together. So hopefully you're really focusing with me here. And you're not looking at me, you're just listening to my voice, listening to the direction. Pick up the tempo in that. Keep breathing, keep sending love and positivity into those hands right there. These are things that I have to do myself too, because I get off track. I get anxious, I get stressed out. Sometimes I think negative, I get mad. But I have to do these kinds of things to bring me back, to remind me who I truly am. That's what we're doing. We're uncovering who we truly are. We are not the person that was formed by the world that had traumatized us. We're something more than that. We're something powerful. And that's what healing is. Healing is uncovering that. Bring it back. Bounce it right there. Breathe. Bounce that energy. Now what you're going to do with that energy is you're going to bring it toward your face like so. I want you to go ahead and hover that your hands right above your face, just about an inch or two, and you're going to feel your own warmth. You're going to feel that power. Some of you may feel it, some of you may not, and we're all different. But for those of you that can feel that heat, that warmth, that's not just friction you created. That's that's a piece of your spirit. That's the physical manifestation of your spirit, and it's healing. And the reason why you're feeling your own power is because sometimes many of us forget. Sometimes many of us forget our own power. We forget our own worth because of maybe we were traumatized at some point in our life. And sometimes when we are traumatized, we are tricked into thinking that we have no power, no control anymore of our thoughts or our feelings or anything like that. But we do. This right here, this warmth that you're feeling is reflective of that power that was never taken away from you, no matter how hard that person hurt you or how many times they did that. That's your power to keep, that great creator had given you, and it's your choice if you want to build that, to use that to heal. That's where the healing. This is coming from the center of your heart. It's coming from hovering from above your head, and what you're doing is you're conjuring that with your mind from your heart. The spirit hovering above you, and you're putting it out there in front of you. And when we do this too, this is a real powerful exercise that hopefully some of you are feeling. That's a real powerful exercise to realize our gift, our spirit, our power. And I was always told the hands are tools for healing. That our hands are tools for healing too. And even if you look into the Eastern cultures, they can heat up their hands so hot. They can heat up their core. Some of the practitioners of like Qigong, and they say the same thing. Have you ever seen a medicine person work? They use their hand, they use their breath. Those are sacred tools that each and every one of us had. That's what I was always told by the healers in my community. They said, everybody has this gift. It's up to us if we want to use it, to sharpen it, to foster that gift. And so this gift too is a piece of, everyone has a talent, that we do, whether it's music, maybe it's dance, singing, making art or something like that. Persuading people, healing people, helping. Those are all pieces of that spirit that's attached to us. That's all around us and inside of us there. So I wanted to start off just with that exercise to remind people the power that we have that's never taken away from us. How was that for you guys? Did some of you really feel that? I feel it. It really gets me at a certain space when I do that. So here we go. Now we're going to jump into 7 sacred breaths that Chelsey learned this from her people. Lakota, and Chelsey is Lakota and Turtle Mountain Chippewa, and this is one of her favorite exercises to do. And we've added to it, and we've have taken this little practice of this exercise, and something that we do in our little family, me and Chelsey and our daughter Aloe. We do this 7 sacred breaths all the time to ground us, and we do this a lot too. Excuse me, soda water. We do this a lot too when we travel around and work with people in Native country. Someone said, felt my spirit. Good. Needed that one today. Good, Shailene. Awesome. Electricity. That electricity, yep, that's part of the spirit. That's part of the power. Someone said, Mikach, it's good to be reminded of how. And so, 7 sacred breaths is something that we do when we travel all around Native country. And this is something I do a lot in my own, in my own, daily routine. A lot of times, if I need to be grounded, then what I do is I'll do the 7 breaths right here. And there's many variations and steps to 7 sacred breaths, but this one is gonna require you to use your mind. And the mind is very, very powerful. And a lot of times with the world that we're in today, living in the non-native world, our bodies, our life, we're kind of operating from a certain area of our brain, right? We're operating a vehicle, you're walking, you're scrolling, you're replying to an email about logistics, you're setting up a Zoom conference with, microphones and things. We're always operating from a certain area of our brain. But when we're breathing mindfully, when we're conjuring up your power, your energy, your spirit, or you're using your mind to put yourself in a very special sacred space, you're operating from another area of your brain. And I believe this I haven't studied this in neuroscience or anything, but I know that this changes the brain chemistry. And as a result, you have a changed outlook on the world. And so this is why I love these, because I don't like to walk around like an average American every day. I want to be a spiritual being. And so the 7 breaths right here, how we're going to breathe is if you're sitting down. Someone said, Sego. That's good. Y'all? Instantly calm down and grounded. Yes, that's good, Kelly. I'm glad you needed that too, Arlene. I needed it as well. Good. So, how we're going to breathe is we're going to breathe like we did a second ago. You're going to breathe in your nose, and what you're going to do is you're going to exhale out your mouth, but you're going to put your tongue at the bottom of your mouth, okay? So, if you notice, just kind of watch here. I'm sitting nice and upright. And you can stand up and do this too, but since we're kind of working on like bringing peacefulness and relaxation into our life, you can go ahead and sit down. You can even lay down. But how we're going to breathe is you're breathing in your nose and you're going to fill up not just your chest. You're not just filling up just your chest. You want to fill that up, but you want to fill it up to the point where there's leftover to push down to your core. Okay, so I'll just stand up and demonstrate so you can kind of see my entire abdomen and what it does when we breathe here. So I'm standing nice and upright, and I'm gonna breathe in my nose and watch how my chest expands, and then down here the pit of my stomach. So I'm breathing in, and then I'm gonna exhale. Notice that my exhale was much longer than my inhale. And that's because I'm trying to really push out the oxygen, because before you mindfully take in oxygen through your nose, there's already oxygen flowing in there. So then when you exhale, it should be longer because you're pushing it all out. So when we exhale too, we're exercising what they call in science the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the nervous system that helps us to calm and relax, especially after an incident or something. So breathing in, and then when you breathe out, you're going to put your tongue at the bottom of your mouth just to allow a nice exhale, a nice passage. Okay, so let's do a test. So again, sit upright if you can. Sit upright, but you don't got to be too stiff, Just nice and upright. Your hands can be palms open and they're just laying on your lap. All right, so you're going to breathe in your nose. Fill up, exhale when you're ready. And as you exhale, you want to feel your entire body just really sink in a little bit. You're releasing and you're exhaling, which I'll bring more into it, but right now that's what we're doing. So let's do another test. You're breathing in. Exhale when you're ready. Notice that the second time you may have noticed that was much longer, that exhale. So that's the way we're going to breathe. In your nose, out your mouth. We're going to do 7 sacred breaths, but that's the first step to it. The second step is what we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes if you're able to. If you're not driving, if you're able to close your eyes, and if you're comfortable in your space to where you can do that, please do that. Close your eyes. But if not, you can also do this too with your eyes open. What we're doing by closing eyes, we're cutting off that sense of our input that our eyes bring. Sometimes changes our perception of the world when we're using the eyes. So we're going to not use the eyes if you can. So go ahead and close your eyes right now at this time. Close your eyes. Don't look at me because I have my eyes closed too. And what you're going to do is I want you to use your powerful mind. Use your imagination. The human mind is very powerful. The mind is so powerful that it can change your body physiologically. And so what you're going to do is you're going to use your imagination and you're going to go to a safe place that's outdoors somewhere. So it could be in your backyard, could be out on one of the mountains where you have ceremony, could be out on the prairies where you have ceremony, could be at the foot of a lake, maybe you're standing on the beach, maybe you're standing out in the desert, maybe you're sitting on some grass or somewhere. I want you to take a moment to put yourself in your imagination in that space. So give yourself a moment. Now find yourself in that space and I want you to look around. Look around, all around you, 360 degrees. Notice maybe what's on the horizon. Even look up. Is there clouds? Is it snowing? Is it sunny? Is it windy out? Is there a dust storm? Now look at the ground. What kind of earth is it? Just look at it. And I want you to imagine that you're barefoot. Imagine that you're barefoot and you're standing upon Mother Earth there. You're using your imagination to send yourself to a very special and sacred outdoor space location for you. Now that you're doing that, I want you to turn and face the direction of north. You're going to face the direction of north in that sacred space using your imagination with your eyes closed if you can. And we're going to start our first breath. And when you breathe in, you're going to breathe in the elements that come from that direction. Maybe it's wind, maybe it's just air, maybe it's just the scenery, the thought or the sight of that direction. You're breathing it in. And when you exhale, imagine that you're relieving and dropping all kinds of stress, unwanted energy, negativity. You don't need to think specifics. You're just letting it go. You're just letting stress go. Okay, so get ready. You're facing north. And you're going to take your first breath in your nose. Breathe in. Exhale when you're ready. Long exhale. Now you're going to turn and you're going to face the west. And maybe the sun is going down and it's a sunset. And when you take the second breath, you're going to breathe in the rays of the sun going down, and when you breathe those rays in, they're going to come in and fill up your entire spirit. And when you exhale, you're going to release and let go of a lot. So now you're facing west. Breathe in the sunset, breathing it in. Exhale when you're ready. Release. Just let it go. It's all good. Now you're facing the south. You're looking at the south there. What comes from the south in that land? You're going to breathe that in right here. Breathing in. And you're going to exhale when you're ready. Pushing out all that oxygen. You're just letting go of energy. Letting go of a lot of the energy. Now you're going to turn and you're going to face the direction of the east where the sun comes up at early in the morning. And you're going to look and just look out all the way in the east. You see the horizon and the sun is just barely about to come up. And as you have your eyes closed, try to relax your brow. So now you're facing east and the sun is about to come up. It's not quite up yet though. You see that glow over the horizon. And now the sun is up and the rays shoot across and they touch you. You're going to breathe in. Exhale. You're just breathing out all of that. You breathed in all the rays. They brought healing, and now you're exhaling all the stuff you don't need to carry no more. Now you're standing there in your safe, sacred outdoor space, and now you're going to look up to the sky. You're going to look up to the sky there, and you're going to breathe in the elements that come from that area. Maybe it's rain, maybe it's thunder, lightning, snow, wind, clouds, blue sky, whatever it is for you. Pick one. And when you breathe that in, it's going to fill up your entire body, your spirit. When you exhale, it's pushing all that negativity out, that stress that you don't need to carry. You're going to breathe in. Exhale when you're full. Push all that oxygen out, all that air out. Now you're going to look down to Mother Earth. Remember, you're standing there barefoot. And look at the ground. Is it grass? What is it? Is it a powwow grounds? Is it dirt? Is it desert floor? Is it sand on a beach or ocean? Is it sand on a lake? Whatever kind of earth that it is you're standing upon, I want you to look at it. Wiggle your toes around in it. Wiggle your toes around inside of that space there. Feel it. Feel Mother Earth beneath you there. We're being grounded where we are remembering that we're walking upon our Mother Earth everywhere we go, and that we should walk in a good way. So now what we're going to do is you're going to breathe in. You're going to breathe in all of the gifts and the energy and the positivity from Mother Earth. You're going to breathe in your nose right now. Exhale when you're full and ready. You're pushing out all that unneeded stress. Mother Earth is helping to send that out. Now you're starting to feel really good. And then in the seventh direction, the seventh breath, what we're doing is you're going to take in all 6 of those directions at once. The north, the south, east, the west, above you, below you. You're going to take in this last breath. You're going to take in all the gifts from those areas one more time. And when you exhale, you're going to push out all of those negativity, things that you don't need to carry. Imagine things on your mind, things on your spine, your heart, your liver, your spleen, your lungs, all that kind of stuff. Kidney, knees, it's falling off. So get ready, and you're going to breathe in. 1, 2, breathe in the last breath in your nose. Exhale when you're ready. A long breath. Push that out. Continuing with your eyes closed, continuing into that space that you're standing in. You're standing upon that sacred space right there, and you just used your mind, your imagination to send your spirit to that place there. You're going to look in all the directions, and you're going to give thanks, whatever it is that you do in your culture to give thanks. You're going to give thanks to the north. Thank you to the sunset. Thank you to the south. You're going to give thanks to the east for what it brought to you. You're giving thanks to Mother Earth. You're giving thanks to that sky world. You're going to give thanks to all those directions at once there for helping you to bring healing and wellness in there. And as you do that, just go ahead and keep your eyes closed and just kind of move your hands, move your toes around. Take a deep breath in. Big breath out. Pretty abrupt. Whoa. So come back with me if you're here. Come back. Open up your eyes once again. Slowly look around your room. Oh, I'm not in that sacred space. Well, it is sacred. Our home is sacred. So that's one of my favorites. 7 sacred breaths from those special directions. And as you just learned and realized, our breath is important. Our breath is really important, even if it's bad, and smelly. The breath is really important because it's what brings life. People talk about water is life, food is medicine. Those things are important, but it's not one. It doesn't come down to just one thing. There's multiple things in our world. It's a complex, interconnected world of many different factors that allow us to live, and that breath is one of them. But a lot of times we forget about that breath and we don't mindfully breathe. We just let your autonomic nervous system do all the breathing for you. So it's only breathing just a little bit, not getting enough to fill up. But when you incorporate the mind too, it's something very, very powerful. Let me know how was that for some of you? Are some of you still with me there? That was an awesome one. So I'll tell you what my sacred space was, that I always immediately, instantly, I go to our family's field, our garden where we grow food at, and is autumn. We're corns and bean squash people, and our people did irrigation, agriculture before the non-native came here. They were making ditches from the river, diverting water from the river to reach their oidak, the field, to grow all those crops. And so today, that was one thing our family is working on doing, is revitalizing our relationship to those original foods, as well as the foods we forage from the land or the foods that we hunt. And so that oidak, the garden, is a sacred, special space for us. And that's also where Chelsey and I got married. It's a sacred space. So every time when I send myself, using my powerful imagination, I send myself to that spot, and I'm standing there with my family and our daughter, all right there in that. That's our little sacred circle. So I look and I see the direction. I see mountains. I see sunset. Below, to the south, what I always see is the dust storm. And to the east, I see the sun rising up over. And then when I look up, I see the lightning, the wihium that happens the late summer. And then, of course, I see our Mother Earth. So, how was that? Someone says, awesome, good, needed that. Healing, good, empowering, much needed. Good, good, good. I'm glad that you guys are feeling that. Where are we at for time here? Okay, we did get cut off, so I'm going to go a little bit, another like 15, 20 minutes. So that was, again, that's one that was gifted to a lot of people to utilize. And so you can use that little simple exercise. You can use that when you feel that you need to be grounded, when you feeling stressed, when you're feeling worried, when you're feeling powerless. Don't forget that no one can take your power away from you. That's something that we, each and every one of us, always have. And we have to remind ourselves that on a daily basis, that we have that power. And take initiative too, to remind your family, to remind your partner, your husband, your wife, or whoever, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, your mom, your dad, whoever you live with, your brothers, your own friends, remind them you have power. That spirit that's driving you around is a part of your power. You can use that, access that for your healing, to go into the direction that you want to go in your life, to reach success, whether it be your career, your academic, your schooling, your personal life, whatever. Really important things there. Good. Someone said definitely needed that. I was at the upper Clackamas River, sitting on the rocks with the river flowing. Yes, that's awesome. That's what I want to hear. Clackamas River is a beautiful place. Good, good, good. How's Thosh doing? He's doing good. Thank you. Good. We need people like you in Cherokee. Yeah, we'd love to go to Cherokee when things are all said and done. Good. Okay, so hopefully, again, that was a really good and useful one right there. And so we're going to continue on with some breathing too. Maybe that breathing exercise, maybe you only have a little bit of time. Maybe you don't got a whole lot of time to be sitting in a space to get into use your mind and imagination. Maybe you need something quick. Maybe you need something really fast. And so that's what this one is going to be. Oh, let me backtrack just a moment too. With that little 7 sacred breaths visualization, utilize your medicine around too. Like before I started this session, we burnt our medicine in this space right here. You burn your medicine too. It'll help with that healing process too. So for this one, like I said, maybe you don't got a whole lot of time to sit there with your eyes closed and do a very powerful visualization. Maybe you got 4 or 5 minutes and you need to calm down and you need to relax. This is a really simple breathing pattern. It's what's going to happen is you're going to breathe in for 5 seconds. Excuse me. You're going to hold it for 6 seconds. And then you're going to exhale for 7 seconds. Okay? So it's a really simple one. So just watch. This is how we're going to do it. Okay? So I'm going to breathe in for 5, hold for 6, exhale for 7. So I'm breathing in, holding, and then I'm going to exhale and I'm gonna breathe in for another 5 seconds. So I breathed in for 5 and I held it for 6 and I exhaled for 7. So when you breathe in and you hold that breath, try to hold it as comfortably and gentle as possible. Okay? And if it's feeling like a lot of tension and pressure and it's uncomfortable and you're sitting down, you may want to stand up. You want to stand up, and that might relieve a little bit of tension or pressure off of your abdomen or your diaphragm. Okay? So now this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna count you off. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1. Then I'm gonna count for you. I'm gonna count to 5. You're gonna breathe in for that whole 5 seconds. Once I get to 5, you're gonna hold it as comfortably as possible. You're gonna hold that 6 seconds. Try to relax. Try not to be like this, because sometimes some people are all try to hold it comfortably and exhale slowly. So if I'm holding my breath, this is the way I'm gonna exhale. So you see, it's a gradual unreleasing of your tension of your diaphragm, and you're exhaling. 7 seconds. Try to do it slow because you have that whole 7 seconds to exhale, okay? So get ready. We're going to do a couple of rounds, then you're going to do a couple of rounds on your own. I'm going to count you off. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, then I'm going to count you down, okay? So here we go. You're going to breathe in 3, 2, 1. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Continue 2 more rounds on your own, and if you know your language, count in your language. Count those in your indigenous language. So do a couple more rounds right here. Good, good. So that one's somewhat quicker, you know. And as you're doing that exercise, try to push out any other type of thoughts that are going to take you away from your mindful breathing exercise. There's other things that are coming into your mind all the time. Our mind, we have mind chatter, but the purpose of doing mindful breathing is for you to heal. It's for you to clear your mind. We have to take care of ourselves first. Otherwise, we don't have nothing to give to those people that we love and around us. So you need time to place a little bit of emphasis on yourself, to be selfish in a healthy way, to take care of yourself. So there's going to be other thoughts that try to come into your mind. You just gently push those out, and you're just focusing on the breath. You're focusing on yourself. It's for you. That's what this is for. So that's a really simple one right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to end with some tapping. We're going to end with some tapping right here. And I want you to conjure up your energy and your power once again. Conjure up your energy, your power. Like I said, we're going to go a little bit past 1 because we got cut off and we had to start over kind of. All right, so go ahead and conjure up your power. You should be feeling really powerful and good at this time. You should be feeling nice and calm and relaxed by this time. And if you need to, go ahead and close your eyes and use your imagination to send all of your power and your energy and your love, your medicine right here between your hands. Remember, the hands are tools for healing. Healing yourself, healing other people, animals, plants, anything. All that receives healing through our hands. That's how we evolved and formulated. The great creator had helped us to evolve in the way where our hands were tools for healing and building things and evolving our life and our culture. So now you're putting them to use right here in a way that we don't do very often every day. So now, feel your power again. Feel that energy. Bounce it around. You should really feel it. Mine's really staticky and feeling that warmth, that heat. And a lot of times too, I don't even need to use friction. Sometimes if I focus and I push the energy there, I can feel that warmth that starts to appear right there. Again, in the Eastern cultures like Qigong and different types of those practices, they do this all the time, and they're masters at gathering up their energy, which is Qi. And I know the Maori, our Maori relatives have their word for it. The Hawaiians, all of our Hawaiian relatives have their words for that energy, that spirit, heart, power. So what we're going to do now is you're going to use your fingertips right here. You're going to use your fingertips. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to just lightly tap on top of your eyes. And as we're doing this, I want you to keep a nice steady flow of breath in your nose and out your mouth, okay? So again, if you're able to close your eyes and tap all over lightly on top of your eyes. And just feel that little sensation tapping on top of the eyes here. You're tapping all over it. And what you're doing is you're preparing your eyes to see beauty. We're doing all the 6 senses. We're seeing beauty all over in the world, and that's what we're choosing our eyes to see. Seeing positivity. Then you're going to move over here on top of your mouth. Tap all around your mouth. Keep your breath going. And by tapping all around your mouth right here, we're clearing this way right here and allowing only good, healthy, real nutrient-dense foods to come into our mouth here to nourish our body. And we're going to come over here to your ears. You're tapping on top of your ears and just kind of even swiping your ears, tapping all around them. Keep your breath going. Lightly tapping. Feels that nice tapping sensation. What you're doing is you're clearing the way right here, so that way you're only going to hear beauty, you're going to hear positivity. And any other thing that's not positive, you're going to just discard that. Then you're going to go over here to the top of your throat right here. You're just tapping all around the top of your throat. And we're clearing out the way right here so we can speak our truth or say what we truly want to say, that we're no longer feeling restricted. We can say these things right here. Speak positivity, speak good things, speak truth. That's coming out of our throat here, out of our voice box. We're going to tap on top of your heart. You're tapping all this area on top of your heart, opening it up. So again, that we can feel too with our heart, or we can project positivity and love with that heart as well. And you're tapping all around that area. And as you're right here on the heart, you're giving thanks to your heart for working every day, non-stop, since the day you came into this world, since you were inside your mama's womb. This heart has been working. Give thanks to that heart. Show it love and appreciation. And use your imagination to visualize the cells in your heart working well, the muscle working well, the electrical impulses working good and functioning in a good, nice syncopated rhythm. The valves, all that blood flow coming in and out, arteries open, no plaque, utilizing your mind. Give thanks to your heart as you do that. Then you're going to bring your tapping and you're going to go right here on top of your head. You're going to tap all around your head. All around your head. Don't worry if you mess your hair up. You're not going anywhere anyways. No one's going to see you. You're tapping all around top of your head. You're opening up that mind. That way your spirit that hovers right above you can connect with the brain, connect with the neurons, so we can make our decisions driven by spirit from above us and from our heart. You're tapping all of this area. Keep your breath going in your nose, out your mouth. Our 6th sense right there. And right here, bring your hands back right here again. Your sense of touch. Again, you're exercising that sense of touch. So we did all those 6 senses, those different areas right there. We did some of the organs. and just go ahead and shake a little bit. Shake, shake, shake it up, shake. Now go ahead and stand up if you're not already standing. Stand up. And you're just moving around, shaking like this. We've been sitting down for an hour, so we want to stand up again. And just go ahead and open up your arms like I'm doing here. Just follow me. Just follow me. Keep your breath flowing. Now we're consciously moving our body to kind of wake us up a little bit, to kind of get our energy up. We should be feeling nice and powerful. We should be feeling a lot of relief. I know I am. I needed that myself. So I'm opening up and I'm consciously moving my body. I'm consciously moving my body, and you're just going here. Follow me. Good. And just rotate around you, using your feet to pivot. Breathing out, breathing in, out, breathing in. Out, breathing in, out. And so you may have remembered too, if you joined us on some of our other sessions, we were talking about moving with the purpose, moving with the purpose of giving thanks for your body. And this is a way that we help also to relieve a lot of stress, anxiety, and tension in our bodies by moving the body. As human beings, we evolved to move. That's what we want to do. But unfortunately today in the culture has this very sedentary lifestyle, so we have to consciously move again. Our ancestors didn't have to move back in the day because they were moving already. Their culture required them to move because their survival was dependent on it. Today we sit a lot, we drive a lot. So we must say, you know what, every hour I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna move for a little bit. I'm gonna march in place, bring my legs up here if I can, moving my arms this way and that way. Because what we are doing is we're relieving a little bit of that stress, that tension. We're keeping our heart healthy, and we know that sitting is the new smoking, and it's important. We have to consciously move, and our health is really dependent upon it. All these things play a role in our life, the wellness of our life, right? How we move our body, what kind of mindset do we have, and how much activities are we doing that bring wellness in our life, such as our ceremonies, our songs, and all the things that I shared with you today. These are many different things that play a role in our healing and our wellness, and we must use what we can learn, even if it isn't from your very specific people. There's things out there that can help us. A lot of the things that I just shared with you are my interpretations of things that I have learned around, and I have put my twister, added my worldview on that, and found that it helps me. So we must do that in our life today. So. Yep. Good. So how was that for you guys? Good. I'm glad to see some of the positive feedback on there. Good. Yes. Paisley made a great comment. She says, yes, our native people need to be reminded of our power. We are all manifestors. Society has made us feel like we are less than. That's exactly right. And that's why I said earlier, we have to realize your own power. Because again, we're living in a society, in a world that wants to convince us that we're powerless, that we don't have control, and that we need to buy this or buy that or vote for so-and-so or follow so-and-so to be in power. But we, each and every one of us, have that. We need to believe that. It starts right here within our mind, our spirit. We must believe that. There's too many people out there asleep thinking that they're out of control. So it's important to manifest that. And that's what she said. We are all manifestors. Yes. One thing that I always like to do is that when I first started really getting on my healing and wellness journey, when I first start consciously telling myself I need to change and heal, it was about 8 or 9 years ago when I really started to really make that decision. And during that time, through one of my meditations, I was visualizing the person that I wanted to be. I was thinking about who's the real Thosh that I want to be. Who is that guy? And I have to really visualize and use my mind and visualize how I want it to feel. How did I want to feel in my emotions? How did I want my outlook in the world to be? Who did I want to be surrounded with? Who did I want to be in a relationship with? What kind of work did I want to be doing? What kind of role did I want to have in the community? And I've thought about those and visualized, and I visualized who that person is and what that is. And if you continue to do that, you become that. And that's where I feel I'm at today. I'm at a space where I enjoy where I'm at. I enjoy where I live. I enjoy my marriage and my enjoying fatherhood. I enjoy being a native wellness trainer. I enjoy being a son, a brother, grandson, a nephew, a friend, a member, a citizen of the community. And we have to visualize that powerful the mind is to manifest that. And when we visualize it, we have to do activities every day that's going to help us to do that. It's got to be your culture every day. It's got to be your own personal way of life and culture to be and walk a certain way that's going to get you to where it is that we want to feel that. So good. And tomorrow's Power Hour is going to be about various language programs online, so I encourage everyone to tune in on that. I know that's one thing I've seen is that a lot of nations and communities are taking all of their language preservation efforts online through Zoom, which is really good. Our language is so important, and it's a big part of our healing and wellness. And when we are learning our language, we're not just learning words in another language, we're learning our worldview that's unique to your people, your nation. And food and language is a great connection too, because when you're learning about language, you're learning about all the foods, the ancestral foods that your ancestors have eaten. Then you start getting interested in restoring that connection to those foods and learning the processes. And it's health, it's identity, it's connection to land. There's so much food, indigenous food, ancestral food, and language go hand in hand. Language is also great too for our understanding our kinship, our imik, they say, or vumgard, our clan systems, to understand what your role is and what your purpose is in your family, in the larger community, in the world. The languages, our languages, articulate that very well. Very different than just saying, oh, my nephew, oh, my uncle. It's much more than that, right? So important to tune in tomorrow. They're gonna be checking that out. Any other things in here that I just wanted to say? Let's see. Good. Well, I hope that all of you enjoyed this session, and I hope that there are some good tools in here that you might utilize. Feel free to use anything that I shared today. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to no one. It belongs to all of us collectively, and so feel free to utilize any of those practices or those exercises that I have done, shared with you today. And if you feel the need to modify them to your cultural teachings, feel free to do that. It's your choice. So if you have your water nearby, give thanks to that water. Give thanks to that water there for nourishing your body, your mind, your spirit, coming from our Mother Earth. So that's what I'm doing right here. And again, so thank you very much. Once again, I'm Thosh, one of the board members of the Native Wellness Institute. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 12 noon, once again, Pacific time, for online language programs and what tribes are doing. Sapo, tahugai.